started yet, but we thought we would let you know so that our viewers don't think they've missed out on anything.
It's
and
the
are waiting.
final.
It is the final of the first ever, hopefully annual, Potomac Curling Club.
If you're wondering what
Shortspiel.
that strange noise in the background is, it's hard to explain.
So we don't have pipers, but we do have kazoos. And we are going to have some sort of chorus of kazoos by the finalists themselves, who are preparing to play the quote-unquote bagpipe song. They're headed out onto the ice. Maybe, I'm afraid of messing up the cameras, but it'd be great if we could figure out how to show them.
Well, I think we're just going to have to imagine it.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up the cameras and then not actually be able to watch the commentary, but you watch the broadcast. But you can see a few of our players. It's
The finalists are actually in shot, so that's perfect.
yes, and they are lined up on the hog line because it is the Shortspiel, and they don't want to go too far away because it is short. And it's quite empty out there compared to a normal Bonspiel because we only have 2-player teams. Sorry, we should unmute Spencer, who's joined us.
Spencer's
Hello.
here. Excellent.
Hi, I'm back.
Sorry about that. We had you muted. And everyone is lining up now with their shots of Drambuie. But we have 4 events and 8 teams with 16 players total. And hopefully they actually do something coordinated with kazoos so that you can hear the ambient mics, but I'm not sure.
I think that's quite unlikely to sound very good.
Sounds
but
very rambunctious out there.
rambunctious is a good word. I like that description.
So many of these players have actually played back-to-back games for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4
Since
draws.
3 p.m.
Yeah. It's been a very tight schedule in the last, okay, it's now turned into 7 hours. There have been 13 draws, and we're on to our 14th.
Since our workday. And this just in for Wilson Co. It's still really cold out there.
Wilson, would you like a headset to join us? No, okay, he has declined.
All right. Well, so who are our finalists, Judy? We have
Sheet for Brains against Sebastian and Flounder, which we have renamed the Little Mermaid.
and that's Matt and Kylie, right?
Yes.
And then JR and who is JR's teammate?
Do you know who JR's teammate is?
I'm sorry, I forget her name, but she's from Charlottesville, actually.
Okay. That would be why we don't recognize her.
And that's originally where JR is from.
Apparently that's where it's Heidi was telling us earlier in the commentary that on the webcast that was where the team name started. Something about the team name starting in Charlottesville.
I've actually curled down there before.
Oh,
yeah? I spare skipped for some friends during one of their curling nights. And
I didn't know that Charlottesville had a club.
Yeah, it's there. They have ice skating rink in the
it's
downtown area.
It's an arena club, okay.
So the owners of that skating rink, they set up a night for curling.
Looks like Sheet for Brains is red. I've actually, for once, set that up properly. Yeah. Switch it.
From what JR has told me, they'll actually be joining the GNCC pretty soon.
Oh, cool.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. That makes sense.
All right, so we're underway.
We are underway in the final of the Shortspiel. It's been a marathon.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe next time going longer throughout the day, but spacing it out more might be a bit more relaxing. But
yes, there's been continuous draws here since 3 o'clock, so
that is true.
it's been pretty busy.
We've had a loyal audience. I think I mean, I can't tell you
Yeah,
who's
we have
watching.
13 viewers,
12
viewers. Thank you for joining us today.
And if you have any questions, there are 4 of us sitting here, so if you want score updates elsewhere, we can probably run off and find those.
It's an excellent commentator to viewer ratio.
Yeah.
That's
I think
absolutely
so.
right.
And an excellent commentator to player ratio, for that matter.
Exactly.
All right, so a couple interesting things here. JR just recently came back from the Dykes last weekend. He skipped for a team, and if I remember correctly, they made it to the B event semifinals before being eliminated.
And for
They
those
did
who are wondering
very well.
what's going on in the warm room, the pom-poms have come out, which have made appearances at many Potomac Bonspiel finals.
It's actually nice to see a decent crowd. I feel like in normal Bonspiels, everyone's so tired or they're just eliminated.
Yeah, or they
leave
go
before
home.
the final.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you've been here this long, you might as well stick it out.
That's right.
All right, Redstone snuck in there to touch the edge of the button, a little bit off the button.
So here, Kylie could probably come around, to follow that path and tap that through. That's what they're looking at. And it's a bit of a
stretching
bit of
farmer.
a stretch, yeah. Difficult to get the line right on these when you can't really see where you're throwing it. And it's going to crash on the first one. Well,
But that's
does
wide
open
open
it
now.
up,
Yeah.
opens it up.
Oh, Heidi has clarified, Spencer, your comment. She said JR's team was in the C event.
C event. That's right. C event runner-up.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thanks, Heidi.
Loyal viewer.
Yes, seems like you've been here all day.
So if you're red here, what do you do? I just think you just freeze right on top of your
I
current
think
one.
so. Yeah. Cover that button fully.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Tried to move his microphone out of the way in time there.
That's what he's played, and he's played it really well.
It's beautiful.
Nice.
That is going to be.
Nice.
I don't see any way to move both of those.
Yeah, just probably have to limit it down to one red, punch the other one out the back.
I think so. Well, they're thinking about it, but I think this is a pretty much guaranteed steal.
He's looking to push it off with the one in the corner.
Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure. Well,
All right, well, it's,
It did knock him down.
yeah,
yeah,
some damage control.
it's about the best they could do there. So
Yeah, it was an
It's
interesting.
not bad. Now they have the
tactic.
hammer.
I want to tell Heidi I've worn my scarf like 5 times that she made me.
Oh, that's
Nice.
I remember when she was knitting that just a couple weeks ago.
So Red puts their score of 1 up on the
All right.
whiteboard.
into the second end already. Wow, we're already 18 point something % through this game. And as usual, we see the first stone coming sort of center line guard, although that one
It's quite
pretty high, top 12 only. I'm not sure that was intentional.
Not gonna be the last game. There was one end where it was like biting from the back line.
Wow.
That we were actually wondering if it had been hogged.
That is an interesting point. I wonder.
But it was biting, so I guess it was in play.
It was in play. But when it's that high, it seems like it's not terribly useful.
I mean, it is tricky because when it's that high, you can't like run it back because your
Right.
rock then isn't in play, and
Right, it's kind of farther away for a run back, but you can still go around it pretty easily.
you can, but it's still in your way to do something easy.
So if something were to be hogged in this game, would it technically be a piglet?
Oh, nice.
Good question.
We should ask our esteemed Bonspiel organizer that question. I bet
So,
she'd like it.
A little tap back here.
It is
nicely
strange
done.
because there's no brooms when you're, lining up the shot for your teammate.
Yeah, so you have to kind of improvise.
Yeah, I mean, you got to move quickly too, especially if they're throwing it with some weight. You got to get out of the way,
Yep.
which can be tricky.
I did just confirm with Haley, if you do hog the rock, it is a piglet.
Wonderful.
Ooh.
Oh, that did not go very well there for,
It's an awkward angle to try to get that red one.
and well, it could be looking at a pretty sticky situation here after this last red rock. Not sure what they're going to do. I would probably just draw to sort of bite the 4, block off that side, and then it's very hard for Yell to get in there, but well, he's going with something else. Maybe he's playing a promote. Yeah, I think so.
For a stretch here.
Well, I don't know if that's quite what he had planned. He's
sitting
sitting 2, yeah. But it's just you can go straight around the other side for a single.
Or even afford to push the other yellow up, but looks pretty good.
Yeah.
One yellow
Nicely done.
with a hammer.
Made that look pretty easy, actually.
Now, if only we could do that at full length.
That's
Consistently.
right. Absolutely.
Do we need to start referring to normal curling as full length curling?
Yeah. Full length curling.
Full sheet curling.
Full house.
We need a term for this, like the center line forefoot.
Right. We need special short house terms.
Yeah.
So people are actually commenting on the way that I deliver. I follow through with my delivery. It looks like I'm almost falling over, but I put my delivery hand out onto the ice and I sit on my hand. I had to think about how I wanted to coin the term for my delivery, so I decided it was the shorthand.
Man, nice.
Sure.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me earlier, and then we were talking about it on the commentary, and you were on sheet C, so the viewers couldn't see it, but it's definitely an interesting tactic. People have come up with some creative techniques.
Yeah, definitely. See a lot of people throwing with no handle, just throw it dead straight. Like
It can curl a bit.
Yeah.
I think it is still worth giving it a proper handle.
I think so too. I agree.
well, it's an interesting point. You could definitely make it curl. We've seen that. I think for some players, they feel like it's a good opportunity to deliberately throw it dead straight and take that sort of out of the equation. But on the other hand, if you do want a bit of curl, well, you can make that happen. So,
Hey, we had a rock this morning that picked, so you never know.
well, yes, absolutely.
Well, it
All
was
the same curling problems.
It
but
kind of
shorter.
ground to a halt. It didn't really, lose handle or something, but we'll have to gouge in the ice.
It looks like and Heidi has another special order for another scarf
Ah.
for Emily's.
She responded
Yeah.
to your comments, Stacey.
Nice. Thank you, Heidi.
And so a bit of a staggered guard situation here on the feature sheet. Well, not anymore.
Oh, that was nice.
Wow, that was fantastic, actually.
A pretty good result. Nice shot. And so could be a good chance to score a couple here for red in a minute. Well, moves one. And so you can score two here. Just draw it the side of the button. Yeah.
Yeah, just touch
Lunge
yeah.
it
the
out
button
far to
and
the
it's
side.
fine. Just can't crash on the guard.
It's also interesting in short house with these lunging to the side, how whether you're right or left-handed makes a big difference.
This
with
may
whatever
be
shot
close.
you're trying to do.
Looks like it's just one. Not totally sure.
Call for
Ask
a
for,
warmer for a laser.
Giving it,
Yep, and there goes the laser call.
there's going to be a measure.
So it was at least one red, maybe two.
Yes.
Yes, they're
And the
measuring
laser
for the
master
second
is
round.
out there.
All right, and our measurement is underway. One
That's
yellow
yellow.
there
So there's
for
there-
one red.
So
Yeah.
it's one red.
All right.
Red.
Keeping things pretty tight here.
Yeah.
So back and forth in the scoring, halfway through the draw. A fun little thing. There's actually a sheet on the quarterfinals draw that did a mid-draw broom stack.
Did they really?
That was pretty fun. Yeah. So a
That's
short
hilarious.
break, if you will.
A short break, absolutely. I like it. Oh, yeah. Kylie there trying a tap back, but not really enough weight. on that one.
Yeah, she just moved it to the button.
Yeah, I'm really wanting to move that to, at least back 4, preferably back 8.
And everybody out in the ice shed, a little stunned by the
Dehumidifier.
dehumidifiers kicking in.
Oh, it's always quite alarming.
Usually
to
that
see the
kicks in,
wave
yeah.
travel down the down the vents.
Usually
Yeah.
that kicks in, what, second, third end of
They're about,
a
yeah.
real game,
Yeah.
so it's
People
taken.
have been in the ice shed continuously for pretty much the last
That is true.
7-8 hours. I mean, that's unusual.
Maybe we're not exuding as much body heat without
That's
sweeping.
true.
Yeah.
That is actually very true.
And there
Although-
isn't a whole lot of yelling either.
Except
True.
there are more people than usual. No, that's not true. Sorry, the teams are half the size. There's more teams, but
So there's actually less people.
you're right.
than
You're right.
normal.
And they're just standing around.
We can do math, I suppose.
It's been a long day.
We'll figure it out.
Math is hard.
Math is so hard. JR lighting up the angle of the shot.
Wonderful skip in the short house.
It is confusing because
Yeah.
sometimes you need a skip to go down there, and sometimes you just throw it.
Well, it is often helpful. I mean, it took us a while to figure
Yeah.
out that it really is helpful for someone to aim their arm. Just move out of the way real quick.
Oh, they're able to push back.
Pretty
the
nice.
yellow.
Yeah.
Coming up a little short there, I think, for weight.
No
So
pun intended.
That's right. So still red, 1. And 1 stone each remaining.
What's the comments say?
So JR here. I think he's going to try and, well, I don't know what he's going to try. He's going to try and thread it through to, yep.
Okay.
And that's pretty good.
2 red.
Matt may look to sit in the pocket on the right from the right side.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how the rocks are so divided by color.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just going to be for 1 though, so
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be really hard to get more than that.
we might wick off the top. Well,
No?
he makes it work, but it's just 1.
1 yellow.
One yellow.
So
And thus we continue
It's a
the
tight
tug
game.
of war.
it's a very tight game here.
Yeah, it's nice to see a tight game in an A event final.
That rock sinking a little bit deeper than I think they would like.
Matt and JR looking rather serious out there.
Yes, there's a lot at stake here in the final of the Shortspiel.
You will be the world champion of Shortspiel.
Absolutely.
So
Sheet
the
C-
first world champion of Shortspiel. This is a title worth taking it seriously.
I believe Sheet C has just tried to tell us a score update. They are
Yeah, they-
tied at the third
At the
end.
third with
2-2.
2-2. Yep.
Sorry, I'm sending a record.
And let's see if I can get a score update from Sheet D.
They're not even paying any attention to you, Spencer.
Mike Sell on the job. All right, Sheet D is looking red, has 5 in the 4th end.
Oh, a
Yellow
nice
having
draw there
2.
from JR.
And looks like
They have 5
Dobbs'
to
team
2.
is throwing red.
Putting it top button.
Yep.
Just saw Joe throw an entire empty bottle of liquor in recycling, which adds to the fact that this has been a very fun day.
So
Nothing short of success.
meanwhile, JR pretty much covered the button there. And kind of an awkward angle, so attempt to remove it, just jammed. But those yellows not really movable very easily.
You could run a yellow back into the red. Oh, but these are red.
Yeah, so I
red
think they want to do something to make that harder. I'm not sure I like this very much. I think I would like drawing right down to your existing
I
red.
agree.
Freeze to it.
This feel like it's going to end in disaster. But well, JR seems confident. If he has to avoid the jam on the red at the back, and that's quite hard to do.
Especially that angle.
Well, they've managed it.
That
Nice
was
shot.
a beautiful shot.
It was
And it sticks around in the back.
Barely sticking
Yeah.
around, otherwise we'd have reset that whole thing.
was pretty risky, but they made it work.
So Matt probably look for the freeze here on the red.
There's a measurement going on A. They're not using the laser. They're pulling out the full measurement device.
Wow. That's odd.
Meanwhile, nice throw there from Matt to.
Just a little tap back and it sits on the button.
The red
So
is the hammer, though.
Question is, can red remove that? They're lying second. Looks like, well, hard to say who's third.
I mean,
Looks like yellow.
if they can reach way over and got it to go out through that port in the back.
Yeah, that's what he's eyeing right now.
Yeah, they might be sitting 4 if they do that.
Interesting.
That would change this game for sure. Make a 4-ender.
If there's a way they can
I don't know if they can.
make a little contact with the other yellow in the back of the 4 on the way out, then it's possible. But angle looks a little iffy here from our
Yeah,
camera.
I don't know if the angle's really there.
I mean, could they throw that at that front yellow into the yellow and you're touching the button and spill them both out?
I think that's what
don't
they're.
think so.
I think that's what they're seeing if it's possibly there.
You really got to just nick the edge of that to make that happen, but with a lot of weight, it's hard.
This
And
is,
have the ball stick around.
JR needs to pull out his protractor.
Yeah. Okay. So
Well, he's giving it a try.
All right.
But that was very difficult angles.
still got 2, I think.
Well,
It's at least one.
I think it's just one.
I think it's
Okay.
one.
So it's 1 red.
Yeah, the camera's a little biased to one side.
Yep. Oh, JR's going to update the scoreboard.
About to-
Two.
Oh,
He
2.
said it was 2.
2. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so
I thought it was 2.
yeah, you say that now.
I did say it before. And we've recorded this for posterity, so you can chat.
All right, going into the last end. Yellow's
Yeah,
down
so
by 2.
it's pretty good for.
All right, 2 to tie.
Nice little tap from Kylie.
Seems like that's now it's the standard response for putting something up in the center as a tap back.
Well, you can't totally take it out, so.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
gotta
people
kinda-
started out trying to go around it.
Yeah,
and I think
draw
they realized
behind, but
the
then-
tap back was more effective in short house.
Yeah, because anything behind the T line is essentially useless, and then you're setting your opponents up for freezing on.
Yeah.
The strategies have definitely been evolving throughout the day.
Absolutely, and we're seeing 2 of the best teams here in the A-event finals. So
Do we know if either of these teams has had much experience in short house, or are they just that clever?
I believe both of these teams have played as a team, at least in Shortspiel morning, after hours, short house.
I know Matt and Kylie play together.
Okay, so maybe
Yeah.
they are the experienced teams, and that's why they've made it
Yeah.
this far. They weren't inventing strategy as they went along. They actually,
Having the
Had thought about it before.
teamship relationship,
yeah.
having that amount of communication and trust.
We were also commenting earlier that, you know, people who would normally play as skip in long house curling, long sheet curling, whatever you want to call it, you know, they're already thinking more about strategy. And people who tend to play front end, you know, it's not necessarily, it's of course different strategy, but it's
Yeah.
you know different thought process.
well, there's a lot of angles and things like that, right, to be thinking about. If you're not in the house regularly in curling, maybe you're not thinking about that so much in a normal game. So there's still 1 yellow in there. Shot stone. They need 2 to tie. So trying to create a situation where they're going to have a shot for 2.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to come around for a draw, maybe split. Split the 4. Cover both sides.
Kylie's stretching out pretty far here.
Yeah, it doesn't look very comfortable with going on that side that far out, honestly.
She's reconsidering.
Yeah. Don't know how many good options there are, to be honest.
Yeah, one of the interesting things with short house is you can use either side of the hack, and if you find a particular teammate that has a strong side, then it may work to your advantage.
Well, you just mean left-handed versus right-handed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was tempted a couple times to try to throw with my left hand, but that probably would have gone badly.
Well, meanwhile, it was a pretty good shot there. I mean, I think they wanted full top 4, judging from their gestures, and it went a little deeper than that. But I think it's in a pretty good position, actually.
I agree.
It's very difficult to get to the inside for the red, so quite difficult to move them out as well. So I think they're going to have a shot for 2 no matter what. I wouldn't be surprised if there was quite a bit of discussion here before this shot.
Yeah.
This is for the World Championship of Short House.
Well,
It is.
exactly.
Take the time and make the right call.
And they don't want to have to, do a skip straw to the
Yeah.
hog line.
World Championship indeed. This is the only
Right.
Shortspiel
You
in the
are
world.
they are playing for the World Championship of
Yeah.
Shortspiel. The first ever
That's fantastic.
official World Champion of Shortspiel. Bragging rights are endless here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot at stake.
Oh, that's right. If a tie comes up, then it would be an extra end. Is that
No,
correct?
it's
It's still
straws.
skip
Six
straws.
rocks? Okay. All right.
Which is closest to the hog line without going over Price is Right rules.
Oh, it's not going over. That's interesting.
Yeah, not going over.
Yeah, can't go
Da,
over.
da, 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 da.
Which, the shot that nobody has ever practiced.
Yes. And also about 3 times further than all the other rocks everyone's just thrown today.
That is correct.
That's funny. Yeah, I hadn't realized it was going over.
It's a lot of warm room skipping going on for this shot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, everyone is an expert now, of course.
Hey, in the warm room, everyone is an expert. It's when you get out there that you forget everything.
So JR still looking at all the angles here, trying to figure out what to do. He's only got 1 rock left. And I think they might be going to do a run back. Well,
And they are up by 2, so they just have to cut them down.
yeah, well, maybe.
They're just going to spill one of those yellow ones
This
at the back.
isn't what I was expecting.
But yellow still has 1 more rock.
I
Oh, they
thought
did?
he would
Okay.
just kill the back one, but he's,
Okay.
well,
I mean, it might be shot.
he might be shot,
Hard
and
to
if he
tell.
is, then that's big trouble.
He's definitely won.
Even if you're not, you just chip that one closer to the pin for 2.
Well,
You go straight through that
there's some debate in the warm room as to who's shot here. It's hard for us to see.
It looks like yellow from our cameras, but it's our cameras are off center, as we've said.
Yeah, they're a little biased. We have shakes on C.
It's open, right?
So if yellow is shot, you can tap in for 2 and tie the game. But if it's red, that changes the shot completely.
Yeah, it's tricky to go into hammer for the last end without knowing who shot.
I'm hearing more of a debate on the warm room for this shot than I hear
Where
at some of our full bonspiels.
so I'm trying to find out from the body language of the players what they think.
There's been a chance start in the warm room to throw it straight.
Straight through the port.
I think Kylie just looked very confused.
Yeah, I'm not sure the warm room advice is translating out onto the ice very well. So
All right, so it looks like Matt's coming around from the right side.
yeah, what is the play here? They must be trying to
tap up their.
Well, he's not. He could go a bit wider here if that's the plan. I don't
think so.
really know why he's going so straight.
Is he trying to knock out one of the red ones?
No, I think he wants to glance the yellow to get it even closer onto the button because I believe they are confident with the back yellow.
I guess he's very worried about moving the back yellow.
Right.
So it's a very delicate shot. No, I don't think he's done it.
This might be a laser. Laser for the A event final.
Well, it's definitely not 2, so I think a game,
they're
game
saying
over.
That's true.
So, and so it's going to be a win for Sheet for Brains.
That's right.
They are the world champions of short house curling
The
here at
first
Potomac Curling
ever
Club.
world champions of short house curling.
And it was a nice tight game there.
That
A
was
worthy
impressive.
game.
Yep. Thank you all for joining us here tonight for the first annual Shortspiel at Potomac Curling
I
Club.
have no doubt this will be back next year.
Absolutely fantastic, and big shout out to especially Haley who organized this Shortspiel and everyone else who helped out. It's been fantastic, and we're
Thank
so
you,
glad.
Andy, for your many, many hours of commentating today.
Wow, I had a lot of support, a lot of great help here, so
It's
a
been fun.
team effort. And
thank you to everyone at home.
absolutely. All right, well, it's game over. We have a champion, so we're going to sign off. Thank you so much for listening and watching.
See you again next year.
We got some